Greetings, viewer. My name is Seth. I'm an ophthalmic technician at the East Tennessee Binocular Vision Center located in Knoxville, Tennessee. And today, I wanted to tell you a little bit about reading and binocular vision. So it is back to school season. Kids have been in school for a couple of weeks now, and I just wanted to make you aware and have a little bit of a dialogue about the sorts of things that can go wrong with our vision in a learning or classroom environment. Now, a couple of disclaimers here. I'm not a licensed optometrist, but I've gathered and presented this information on behalf of Dr. M.W. Ryan Jr., who is a licensed optometrist. The other thing I want to tell you is that we are not going to talk about visual acuity in this video. Visual acuity being how clear one sees. Obviously, that's an important factor in being able to see the page or being able to see the board in the classroom, but it's a different topic for a different day. What I do want to talk about today, though, is binocular vision. So, what is binocular vision or binocularity? Well, just to give you a broad, sort of sweeping definition here, binocularity is the brain's ability to take information from the two eyes and put it together. So what we mean when we say binocularity is just the use of two eyes. So what you're probably thinking right now is, Seth, duh, of course we're going to use two eyes at the same time. And the way this looks in practice is we have, like, let's say some sort of up-close material. So a page in a book, a cell phone, tablet, anything like that. What's going to happen is we're going to have a fixation target, right? The fixation target is just what we want to look at. And in order to see the fixation target, our eyes have to turn in or converge to line up this target, right? So in order to demonstrate this, I've prepared a sample passage regarding one of my favorite books. So we have our fixation target. The eyes are going to line up and converge on the word my. And then we're going to start reading. And we're going to go along the line with our eyes right like this. Then once we finish the line, we move down to the next one. And so on and so forth. So this is an ideal scenario, right? What happens when we don't use the two eyes like we should and we're only paying attention to one eye at a time? Well, same situation. We've got our fixation point right here. And let's say this time just the right eye is looking at it, right like that. But we've shut off the left eye and we're not paying attention to it. So it's drifted out and is looking somewhere irrelevant, somewhere out of the picture, right? But let's say that we switch which eye we're paying attention to. What ends up happening is we have our fixation point, just like before, and our right eye is looking at it, just like it was supposed to, but what's happened is we've switched to the left eye. Now we've shut off the right eye, and the left eye is looking at this point, which obviously was not where we were intending to look. So how does this look on the passage? Well, we're following along with the right eye like this, and then suddenly we switch to the left eye, and it's looking in a different spot. And we pick up like right here. Then let's say we swap back to the other eye, and it's looking in a completely different place. So what's happened here? Basically, what we've done is we've missed out on a whole bunch of information. We've skipped words, we've skipped lines, we've lost our place, and what ends up happening is that this reader or this student, or this can even happen in adults, has to go back and reread passages over and over again because they're missing out on this information. So, to wrap this up, let's talk a little bit more about some of the symptoms that can be associated with this. Obviously, we've touched upon skipping words and lines, losing our place when we read. The other thing I want you to pay attention to is visible abnormal eye movements or eyes turning out. So sometimes if you're looking at an individual, you can see that their eye is kicking out, or sometimes they'll even alternate which eye they're looking at you with, and you can actually see this happening. I'm going to highlight ADHD-like behavior and double vision. So obviously these two topics are kind of a bit of a rabbit hole, and I'm hoping that in the future I'm going to do an entire video discussing just this. But in the meantime, they're definitely something that can be associated with this phenomena that we've already talked about. The other thing I want to draw your attention to is headaches. Sometimes if we're spending all day alternating which eye we're looking at, rereading passages, and so on and so forth, we can form up a little bit of headache after rigorous schoolwork or long reading sessions. You can definitely overwork the brain. The last thing I want to highlight is head posturing. So if we're not using our eyes like we should, sometimes we'll try to move our head to get them to align better, or so that it's easier to just occlude one or shut one off completely, and this can result in a head turn or a head tilt. So if you notice some of these issues, or you have any other questions relating to what we talked about today, you can find more information on our website, or you can feel free to contact our office, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. We've got our contact information right down here. So, if you've stuck with me for this long, thank you so much for watching the video. I'm hoping to create more content like this in the future, so if you would, if you like the video, like it, share it, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and I'm looking forward to sharing more of this information in the future, so keep your eye out, but don't keep your eye turned out.